What do you want? You're here. Welcome to the Vulgus. You've made quite the impression at Kingston. So much so, I was tempted to recruit you for... However, now that we have the guide as a strategic asset, Shall we get started? Based on the coordinates provided by the guide, the Ironheart excavation site is near. Unfortunately, the exact location needs to be confirmed in person. The coordinates are based on... I'll do recon around the industrial zone. While I'm doing that, even though I have active camouflage, things will be much easier if you can hold the enemy's attention. I'll tell Jeremy to stay behind and provide operational support. Jeremy seems to be unable to link with the guide, so he won't be much use in finding the excavation site. He'll be better deployed using his arcade teleportation abilities. Let's get moving. We need to restore...
What, me? Support? Oh, for crying out loud. Get to the point. Guide! That's all everybody talks about these days. Since when did the higher-ups at Albion, not to mention excluding an excellent descendant like myself from this operation? Hey, you think it's funny? All right then. Let's consider which descendants aren't able to... Let's see. It's only me and Alpha, yes? Looks to me like the commander of Albion. If I were you, I'd think carefully about why you've been designated as a bait. And I'm going to do things my way. Huh. Do you really think you can even attempt to follow me? With my arcade abilities?
You've been ambushed. Or did you let it happen? As a feint, it worked well. But you mustn't let your guard down. Vulgus cyborgs have had quite a few upgrades recently. You may suddenly encounter powerful units that aren't in our database. Definitely in Vulgus occupied territory. There's no end to it.
High-level Vulgus closing in. We confirm it's a new Kuiper-enhanced variant.
Huh. It's built from the same material as the one we're after. Make a note in the operations log, number 17. Thanks to the enemies being drawn your way, infiltration is going smoothly. Good job.
Mission request from Colon Special Forces Agent number 17. Objective, secure a Vulgus sample. We need a Vulgus sample to study the recent technological improvements to Legion of Immortality units. This mission is also part of the diversion tactics. feint is working. Carrying fuse parts confirmed. High-level Vulgus closing in. Request combat. All generators disabled. Mission relay terminated. The communications deception transmitter at the Vulgus base is operational. Descendant, you need to protect the transmitter while it is operating. If the diversion works, we can detain a number of enemies here. Multiple Vulgus are closing in on the transmitter. There's a high probability this is the result of the communications diversion. Continue to engage them and stall for time as long as possible.
Operate flexible reaction.
Will be exposed if we lose the transmitter. Protect the transmitter. High-level Vulgus closing in. Likely lured by our communications diversion. The communications deception transmitter at the Vulgus base is operational. Descendant, you need to protect the transmitter while it is operating. If the diversion works, we can detain a number of enemies here.
Reload.
Multiple Vulgus are closing in on the transmitter. There is a high probability that this is their zone of communication. Continue to engage them and stall for time as long as possible. Our deception will be exposed if we lose the transmitter. Protect the transmitter. High-level Vulgus closing in. Likely lured by our communications diversion. Communications deception transmitter at the Vulgus base is operational. Descendant, you need to protect the transmitter while it is operating. If the diversion works, we can detain a number of enemies here. on the transmitter. There is a high probability that this is the result of a communications breach. Continue to engage them and solve for time as long as possible.
Reload.
High-level Vulgus closing in. Likely learned by our communications conversion. Descendant, our deception will be exposed if we lose the transmitter. Protect the transmitter.
Shields are down. Need to recharge.
Communications deception transmitter at the Vulgus base is operational. Descendant, you need to protect the transmitter while it is operating. If the diversion works, we can detain a number of enemies here.
Deploy max barrier.
Multiple Vulgus are closing in on the transmitter. There is a high probability this is the result of the communications breach. Continue to engage them and solve for time as long as possible. Closing in. Likely lured by our communications conversion.
Damn it. Loading.
This is Sharon. I'm transmitting to all Allied forces deployed to this operation. We have an urgent development, requesting backup. Number 17 has received details. All units are to head to the mining outpost.
Do you have something to tell me? Descendant, we have an urgent report on... Her current position is near the Vulgus munitions factory. Thanks to her diversionary tactics, she was able to reach the target safely. But the Vulgus, this is the sitrep reported by Sharon's...
Operating arcade tracking matrix. Typo retrofitted active camouflage detected. Probability of zone infiltration high. Ironheart excavation site status. Quarantine at the highest level of security. Terminate the descendant on site. Terminate. Terminate.
This cyborg Vulgus, Edelek, is a commando-level model specializing in defense missions. It's armed with arcade tracking functions. And it seems the Vulgus already know about the Ironheart excavation site. I was told that the Ancestors' data was tightly guarded at Kingston. If the Vulgus have gained access, for the moment, Sharon has requested an attack on the repository's core facility. Once the Vulgus have vacated the factory, she intends to try and infiltrate it again. Descendant, you and Jeremy are to launch an attack on the repository.
Are you sure this guide can be trusted? Didn't you guys win at Kingston?
Focus on the mission, Jeremy.